But some of them in the morning, they found a basket with a child inside with a small note, says, please take care.
No one wants to communicate with her.
When we were, for example, at Chameleon Orphanage, I was surprised by the stigma that Thai people have had for several years, and that kids are actually just basically thrown away. We're hoping that the stigma that these are contagious will get better, and the kids can actually go outside without being harassed or bullied.
Parents. We all have them. From every nation on earth. Some of us are born into privilege. Some of us into poverty. Some of us are born near perfect. Others are not so lucky. But we all want the chance to grow up, healthy and happy. This is the story of those who are trying to help.
Children come with a lady, and the lady was the leader of the children's home, and she asked me if I had any spare left in my suitcase to bring something when I come next time holiday, and I had. So I went home to Norway, went online Facebook, and I wrote, if you have something left over, can I put it in my suitcase and bring to the home? And the first I got was 2 suitcases of clothes. And this kept going on from 2009 till 2014. Then I had about 800 kilo clothes at my house, privately delivering. And my job as a tour driver, I came down to the city of Norway, and I came in contact with the night manager there. His name is Kim.
Hei, hei. Skal vi se, skal sjekke inn. Vi vel på samme billett, så...
I said I bring clothes to a children's home, which gives me something extra in my heart. But the thing is that I had so many kilos of clothes, and you can only bring one extra, 20 kilo every time. And with all the things I had home, we had to do something else. She asked me if I was interested in founding a foundation organization. Couldn't help me with the money funding, but he would love to make a website for me and a Facebook site. So we together established this Child Care Thailand organization.
Kim travels from Oslo to Bangkok to meet the founder of Child Care Thailand, Yanni. Along the way, he picks up some treats for the orphans. Thailand is one of the top tourist destinations in the world, receiving over 35 million visitors in 2017.
How I got involved was actually just random, because I was working at a hotel and I got to meet one of the guests that was traveling to Thailand and giving out clothes to orphanages. And I thought that I needed to do something good for myself, and it was a good opportunity for me to get involved. So I started then in 2015 the Child Care Thailand Foundation with Yanni. We thought we were just going to deliver some clothes while we were traveling, but the ball started rolling. Here today now, we're actually delivering over 2 tons of clothes every month, plus a lot of donations from both Norway and also here in Thailand.
We make our way to the coastal city of Pattaya, where the foundation will buy food and supplies for the orphanages and AIDS clinics. Pattaya is home to around 107,000 residents. It has, in recent years, become a destination for sex tourism. This has seen the rise of unwanted pregnancies, causing children to be abandoned. Due to the nature of the industry, the spread of sexually transmitted infections, such as HIV, have a higher chance of spreading. The infections can also be passed from mother to child and can cause physical complications. Due to the social stigma in Thailand that surrounds ailments such as HIV and AIDS, this creates a large number of abandoned children that suffer without receiving the necessary care. An important role the charities play is making sure that the patients and orphans maintain a stable diet. Most growing children between the ages of 1 and 10 require anything from 1,400 to 2,100 calories per day.
The thing we do is that we deliver clothes, but one of the most important reasons for the donations is actually to provide good, nutritious food.
45 baht each. Good. 40, okay. Couple cup.
That's something that they don't get every day because, like we have heard, protein is expensive. So if we can provide this, we can actually get a higher life quality for the kids with toys, with being with them, with playing, but also giving them a healthier life. Hopefully.
You know, the 1,000 baht is where people donate money for me to buy food for home, for this. Yeah, yeah.
The most common drugs used in HIV treatments are ritonavir, which helps to boost the patient's immune system, and tipranvir, which helps to prevent the spread of the virus throughout the body. These drugs can have adverse side effects such as weight loss, vomiting, and diarrhea. This requires a higher than normal intake of food for those afflicted to help them combat the disease. Tuk, our interpreter, finds a butcher who remembers the foundation visiting the previous year.
I asked him about the first time we come and you buy the meat here. Everything is empty.
Yes, everything.
Then he said yes, he remember. Yeah, I say you have to see him when the pork is empty.
Yes, so
when the business is finished, he take a bicycle. He say he go to the beach.
Yeah.
It's last time when he see him for him.
Thank you very much.
ขอบใจจ้า
ขอบคุณครับ
ค่ะ
I
Charities and foundations are not the only people who are helping in Thailand. Small businesses and holiday resorts are doing what they can to help. During the floods of May 2017, Bang Sarai Nordic Resort helped out by housing and feeding victims who had lost their homes.
This place, Bang Sarai Nordic Resort, was started about 12 years ago. So when the flooding started, we got a lot of pressure to rent out. We took in a lot of people. Some lived in tents in the areas, but most were accommodated in the units. When things like this happen, you just set aside things and you want to make a difference, you want to help. So you do whatever you can along the way. At least that's our mission. It's a common responsibility to do what you can. We've never been as many people in the resort as in that time. We feel honored and lucky to be able to kind of contribute a little bit towards this work.
The Foundation's first stop is Bonshu Orphanage. This is an orphanage where children who have been afflicted by physical and mental disabilities have a safe place to grow up. We arrived to find the place almost completely deserted. After some investigation, we find out that the orphanage has become so big that they have begun building a second complex down the road. This is where everyone is gathering today, including its founder, Kun Bonshu.
My name is Kun Bonshu, and I am the founder of Bonshu Orphanage. This is a place where handicapped orphans come to grow up. We started this home with about 20 children 8-9 years ago, in the year 2552 in the Thai calendar. Now we have developed greatly. We are working with 175 children living with us. Some come and go, but 140 live here permanently.
The government does not support the project financially. Everything is privately funded. Some of the children's families contribute, but most of the children do not have parents. The efforts are a combination of the Navy, local companies, and individual contributors. Many of the orphans come from separated families. Many come from all over Thailand, quite far away. Many of the children here come as their families cannot take care of their special needs and disabilities. Now we are at our new location, which will be developed into a school. This is the playground. Here we bring children in the daytime to be educated and to play. The first location is where they now live. Thailand is a very divided society. Parts of the society do not understand the concept of disability, and it is not something that people show empathy for. Other parts of the society have a strong belief that everyone should have the ability to grow up happy and healthy. Due to the ever-expanding population in Thailand, it is becoming increasingly necessary for organizations which help those who have been cast out by society.
What I've experienced now since we started in 2015 is how much we can do. We can't do that much because we're a small organization and there's a lot of small organizations working with orphanages. But just giving them some improved life quality every day by giving them some clothes from Norway or going to the orphanage and play with them is actually important in order to show them that they're not dangerous, they're not contagious, they're normal children that just needs to have social contact with everybody else.
I've been living and working in Thailand for 10 years now. Gladly, I see that the government and the society as a whole, I think, is moving in the right direction when it comes to taking care of the poorest and the weakest in society. But still, it's mainly charitable work and private initiative that takes care of the weakest and poorest, orphanages, etc. So the work that Child Care Thailand and all other organizations like it do in Thailand truly makes a big difference and is crucial for the life of these children and disadvantaged people.
Bangjinjai Children's Home was the first orphanage Yanni began working with back in 2009.
See, here was the kitchen before. Now it's dirty, but it's gas. Here on the table, 75 children was eating here. This outside this gate, early morning come here and I see a basket with a note on. The basket was empty, but I wondered why it stood outside there. And the leader told me somebody had put a small baby in the basket. It says, take care. And I wanted to know the baby's story, but she told me, but in most cases, they get pregnant and they have, it's not possible for them to keep the baby, and she don't want to know anything about it. So she left it outside the basket. I was at the home, the new home they have built, and this girl is now 6 years old. So you might think it's like, I have a dog, but I give it away, but it's actually a baby, it's a child.
There was a Chinese couple delivered a small girl at 4 years old because they had to go back to China, and at that time China has the one-child policy, and they just left this girl there and went back to China.
And I've been to the old place they have the new one now and visit them. And they're now growing up to be 6 years old. And when they grow up here, they have nothing else. The leader of the home is like their mama.
They have mothers working in the sex industry. Children have been abused by adults, by other members in the family. When they come to Bangjinjai, they are some of the lucky ones.
So when they turn 18, the goal for the orphanage is somebody to come and give support for high school, and maybe they have a proper job. It's very nostalgic to be back here. I would love it to be a new orphanage here. And this is where I started carrying clothes. And in 2015, we made this name. And now in 2017, I don't know what's going to end.
Since the creation of the charity in 2015, the number of children who have been abandoned has greatly risen. HIV and AIDS is one of the country's leading concerns. Due to the lack of education surrounding the affliction, a social stigma surrounds those who are affected. This usually results in them being abandoned by their friends and family and having no place to turn to. Glory Hut is an organization helping those who have been affected.
Our foundation help people HIV/AIDS. We take care the lady, man, and transgender. We have 3 houses for man, transgender, the lady.
Hello. Sawadee krap. How are you?
I'm fine. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you again. We have some people donating. We'll bring it to the table for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we'll have a look after.
Yep. I love you.
Now we can make barbecue. Then you can bring to the beach.
Thursday.
Oh.
When I start the ministry, maybe 2006, we not have money, but have people. I need this first house in this land. We start to build the bar in Nương Phra Vạn, soy Nương Phra Vạn, give some money for us, and we buy the supply, and everyone in our foundation we help. We not have money to give the people outside to make, but we help together and do the first building. But we don't know how to make the house, but we try, and okay, this the first house that we do.
Each house at Glory Hut is built and maintained by the patients at the clinic.
Chocolate from Norway.
I like chocolate.
No, for everybody.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I give everyone.
This is for dinner, this is for Saturday night.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
And okay, people stay here, we send them to go to see the doctor, help them to have a knowledge. Many people when come to stay here, when get better, they can go out and get a new job. Everyone come about 3 months, 6 months, or 1 year. But if everyone eat food, good sleep, go to see doctor, yeah, okay, everyone will get better. If everyone come to our foundation, we not ask, we not stigma, we not discrimination, but we try to help them, to help the new hope. The people from their family, some abandon, some leave them and not accept them. Many people attack HIV by many ways, you know. Some from drugs, some from sex worker, some from mom.
Many people who contract HIV in Thailand are already tainted in the eyes of the public. Sex workers and drug addicts are particularly vulnerable to becoming infected, and due to their roles in society, find it hard to seek help. Part of the treatment at Glory Hut is keeping a positive attitude, as well as maintaining a stable diet that helps the medication to do its work. Dom One of the volunteers shows me an organic garden out the back where their patients grow their own food.
We hope when family hear about someone in their family got HIV/AIDS, they don't stigma discrimination, but stand by them. It's very important. We have this foundation to help HIV people, but the most important, if their own family can accept, can stand by them, not leave them, is the best.
Stigma from the local population surrounding Glory Hut has caused them to be thrown out of their current location. Fortunately, they have found a location close by where they can all begin again. The Chameleon Center was founded by Father Giovanni Contarin. The center deals with adults and children who have been affected by AIDS and HIV. Part of their mission is to educate the public and improve the image of those who are affected by the affliction. The center specializes in a step-by-step program helping those who have been infected finally re-enter society.
Our center helps the HIV/AIDS patients who are poor, who are rejected by the people in local community. So we separate them into steps. First, they are very weak. We will put them in the first room. We will help them everything for their daily life. When they get better, we will move them to the second step. That will help them to exercise themselves to get stronger. But someone, they still live with this, some disability, for example, they are blind. When they are strong, they move to the last step, that we will support them to stay or to live in their own family or in the society.
HIV develops into AIDS after the amount of CD4 and CD8 lymphocytes drops below 200 cells per milliliter of blood. This can be especially hard to build an immune system for those who are born with the infection.
My name is Orphans Sangrian. My nickname is On. I am HIV people who got HIV from my mother. Now I am 30 years old. When she arrived here, she was 13 kilograms. She was very sick and she could not walk. She needed to sit down on the wheelchair. When she got medicine, she got her health got better. Her CD4 up and she got strong. This photo shows 3 years later, when she got medicine, you can see she grew up.
Much like Glory Hut and Bonshu Orphanage, the mission at Chameleon Center is to remove the illusion that the patients are dangerous and prevent them from being ostracized by their local communities. In the past, some communities have protested the clinic with less than peaceful methods.
It opened on 29th of January 1996. At the first 10 years, our children could not go to school outside because of stigma. But when we started this center, we didn't just get the people to live here, but at the same time, we try to distribute the right information about HIV/AIDS. But the people there at Nonthaburi, they didn't accept us. They tried to push our center out from their society by bomb and gun. They threw the bomb to our office and force us to leave from our center. The stigma from the people in society. So it forced us to work about how to let the people outside our center get understand about HIV. The knowledge about HIV, how to prevent and protect themselves from HIV/AIDS. The people can get this passport, especially this is in English and Thai. You can know and check yourself that what is HIV, what is AIDS.
The Chameleon Center houses over 200 children from unfortunate backgrounds.
The children who come here, they will live until they will be ready to live by themselves in Thai society. Yeah. So we support them to reach and get education. So when they leave our center, they can take care of themselves.
Looking around the room, we can see the toys and clothes that were donated by the foundation lying on the beds of the children.
This photo shows that she was studying the vocational education, and now she graduated the bachelor, and her health is very good.
An is one of the lucky ones. Others have not been so lucky.
This dome is used for keep the ashes of the HIV patient who passed away. So we do the cremation and we keep the ashes here. Since the beginning of this center until now, there are around nearly 1,000 dead bodies. You can come to see the dead body. In this box, there are 2 persons. So we do according to the Buddhist tradition to put the ashes into the sea. For Catholic, we keep the body into the land.
Steer me straight as we travel along this winding road, so dark and long, through each snare.
The most important thing is actually that everybody has to remember that even if you're on vacation, you can do a little bit, maybe a couple hours a day. That means almost the whole world for one kid.
Think about our center, think about orphan children.
Upon the brink, carry me, landed where
Everybody come here, help me.
seas guiding out when a man can leave.
It just makes sense to try to do whatever you can to help people like that.
Weep and moan no more, to when weep and moan no more.
The only thing you can do is to come here and give them a call and try to help the best way you can.
Hold me close and I won't fear the end as darkness over me descends. Take my hand, won't you be my guide across the river, deep and wide, to where we'll weep and moan.